Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Alright, let's try this again. Blood Moon. Can you pass the test? No. That's going to make our opponent's life a smidge harder. Scalding Tarn, probably better known as Mountain. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Brew About Nothing. So lately, I've been missing just good, clean, fair magic. So today, we are heading all the way back to Legacy, the last bastion, I think, of fair magic in the multiverse at the moment, to have some good, clean, magical fun. Like casting turn 1 Blood Moons, comboing off with Painter Servant and Grindstone. We are playing Painter Prison, I'm calling this deck. I don't know, I might get yelled at in the comments. Maybe this is more typical to a normal mono-red Painter Servant deck than I realize, but basically, we are Painter Servanting, but also turn 1 Blood Mooning, and maybe locking our opponent out of the game. So let's have some Legacy fun today, talk about this deck, jump right into the game, see how it goes. So our deck, step 1 is a combo, and really, our deck kind of comes in two somewhat related parts. So our game-ending combo is Grindstone and Painter Servant. Grindstone, this weird old mill card, 1 to cast, 3 to activate, and then you mill target player for 2, but if the cards share at least 1 color, you mill for 2 again, and then if they're the same color, you mill for 2 again. Well, the trick is Painter Servant makes everything a color of our choice, so we play it, we name blue usually, and then if we can activate Grindstone, a single activation guaranteed to mill our opponent's entire deck, because every card's going to be blue, it's all going to double hit, opponent's entire library gone, and in theory, if we get a crazy fast mana nut draw, we can do this as early as turn 2, so that's our game-winning combo. We also have a bunch of ways to set up the combo. Goblin Engineer, Goblin Welder are ways we can, like, tutor for artifacts, get them back for graveyard, so, like, Goblin Engineer can find a Grindstone or a Painter Servant, Engineer or Goblin Welder can sack an artifact to get that back, so we do some loopy stuff there. Imperial Recruiter just finds Painter Servant, or, if we want, we can find Goblin Engineer, Goblin Welder, so we have a bunch of tutor-type effects to not only put together our combo, but do some value-y, prison-y things as well. As far as the rest of our deck, we talked about Goblin Welder, we talked about Goblin Engineer. Both of those are cards that need artifacts on the battlefield to sacrifice to get artifacts back from the graveyard. So we have a bunch of other artifacts as well, with the most important being Arcum's Astrolabe. We're playing Astrolabe really fairly. It's just a 1-mana artifact that draws us a card, but then we can, like, tutor up something, put it in our graveyard with Goblin Engineer, sack Astrolabe to get back, like, a Painter Servant or something. So that's one of the shenanigans of the deck. We also have a single Walking Ballista for value, Ensnaring Bridge, part of our prison package to shut down creatures, plus with our combo, we don't really need to attack to win. Then we have Karn the Great Creator, which is actually another tutor for our combo pieces. You probably noticed, we only have 3 Grindstones and 3 Painter Servant. That's not because we don't want the full 4 copies, those are the most important cards in our deck, but because we have the other copy of each in our sideboard for Karn the Great Creator to tutor for. So Karn, another way to set up our combo. Then we have the more prison-y aspects of the deck. That starts off, along with the Ensnaring Bridge we talked about, with Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon to hopefully mana screw our opponent. We're mono-red, we have Astrolabe if we need it, but mostly we're just a mono-red deck, so Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon, kind of a free roll. The other sweet trick is, we have Pyroblast in the main deck, and then Red Elemental Blast in the sideboard, which are 1-mana ways to counter or destroy a permanent if they're blue. Well, if we can put Painter Servant on blue, then Pyroblast is just 1 mana, blow up any permanent or counter any spell, which is absolutely absurd, and this kind of works with our prison plan, because if our opponent draws a basic land, let's say, to play under our Magus of the Moon or the Blood Moon, we could use Pyroblast with Painter Servant to blow up that basic land and keep the lock hard on our opponent's mana. We also have a couple of Chandras, just for value, generates card advantage, another way we can win the game with the ultimate. Mana base wise, and I'm including Symbiote Spirit Guide in the mana base, but it's all about the fast mana. Our mana producing lands, the basic ones, are snow-covered mountains, so we can play Astrolabe. 1 Great Furnace is an artifact tutor target and sack target, but the real core of the deck is Ancient Tube, City of Traders, also Symbiote Spirit Guide, basically all things that add an extra mana. So this speeds us into something like turn 1 Blood Moon, like Ancient Tomb, Symbiote Spirit Guide, that's a turn 1 Blood Moon. Or it also helps us speed up our combo. We can, like, play Ancient Tomb on turn 1 to play Painter Servant. The next turn, if we have City of Traders or Ancient Tomb, we can play that, we'll have 4 mana, that's enough to Grindstone, activate Grindstone, win the game. So the 2 mana lands and Symbiote Spirit Guide, really essential to speeding up the deck. Finally, as far as the sideboard is concerned, graveyard, our sideboard really comes in two parts. One is the Karn the Great Creator half, where these are artifacts we can tutor for. Again, our missing Grindstone and Painter Servant hanging out for Karn to snag. Mycosynth Lattice for the hard lock. Not our primary plan, but it works sometimes. Sometimes our opponent just gets locked out of the game, can't tap mana, can't do anything, and we win that way. Tormod Script for graveyards, another Ensnaring Bridge for creatures, and then we have our non-card sideboard stuff with Red Elemental Blast being the big one. We can go all the way up to 7 blasts in our deck, which again with Painter Servant are insane because they blow up any permanent once we have Painter Servant blue. Irrelevant Revelers, blows up an artifact. Fiery Confluence, a sweeper, also artifact destruction. Leyline of the Void for graveyards, and that is Legacy Painter Prison. That's our bunch of blue deck for this week. So let's have some good, clean fun the way Garfield intended. Head to Legacy, Blood Moon some people, go infinite, do all those shenanigans. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. If you enjoyed today's deck, make sure to purchase it from our sponsor, Card Kingdom. For a limited time, you can get a Scoop Soldier sticker for free if you mention Scoop Soldier in your order notes during checkout. All right, much Abrew about nothing time. This week, we're doing something special. We're heading to Legacy to play a deck that combines some of my favorite things, Prison and combos. This is Painter Prison, I would say, Mono Red Painter Prison. And I think we keep this. I think we are... Do we even want to play the Grindstone on turn 1? Probably. Yeah, let's run it out. Snowcovered Mountain Grindstone, go. So I think what we do, we run out the Grindstone. Next turn we can City of Traders Blood Moon. And then go from there. Opponent ponders. Well, we'll see what amount of free counter magic our opponent has. Ooh, Pyroblast. Well, City of Traders and Blood Moon. Resolve. Resolve. Alright, opponent picks up the land for a daze. We cannot pay. Yeah, pass the turn. So, free counter number 1. But we got it out of the hand, and we put our opponent down a land temporarily. About it. Wasteland. Wow, blows up the City of Traders. Interesting decision. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain. Goblin Engineer. Resolves. And I think we just take, let's take Painter Servant, pass the turn. So in theory, we can sack Grindstone for Painter Servant and then have Pyroblast to destroy anything. Volcanic Island. Opponent preordains. Drawing mana would also be fine. That is mana. In that case, we will Ancient Tomb. Blood Moon. Resolves. Okay. And, well, then we will just pass the turn. Get in with this Engineer. I guess could we have went for the win there? I guess we could have, couldn't we? No, we don't have enough artifacts is the issue. So we couldn't go for the win because we have to sack the Grindstone to get the Painter Servant. But we're not that far away from going for the win. Astrolabe. Draw a card. Sack Astrolabe. Get back Painter Servant on blue. All right, pass the turn. We got the combo set up. And we have the Pyroblast, looking good as a Is-It card. All right, opponent needs a bolt or something. And they got to do it through the Pyroblast. And opponent scoops it up? Whoo! All right. Blood Moons and combos. Stick them all together. Win the game, apparently. All right, that went pretty well. That went very well. Well, you know what we're going to bring in? One of the things I love about this deck is if you play against a blue deck, you just get to play a million blasts. So we just get to bring in a million, we have 8 or 7 spells now that destroy blue things, and get even crazier if we get Painter Servant going. What do we want to change? We can go down. Magus of the Moon feels like it dies all the time. Ensnaring Bridge, is it worth it? I mean, I'm sure our opponent does have creatures. Maybe we like Ballista to the sideboard and go down one, maybe one Recruiter? Try it like that? I know we want all the blasts, that's for sure. Well, that went pretty well. Okay. We got Astrolabes for days. Opponent, Volcanic Island, and Delver. So threat 1 resolves. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, Astrolabe. I mean, we should be able to find a blast for this eventually. Draw a card. Another Painter Servant. Does Delver get the blind flip? Please no? No. All right, that's good. So opponent probably drew a land. Polluter Delta. Gets and hits us. Sure. Down to 19. Ponders. All right, give us a blast. Give us a blast. We're actually kind of close to comboing if we can just find a blast or two for protection. Opponent, no shuffle, passes. Ensnaring Bridge. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, Astrolabe, draw a card. Play Grindstone. Go. If opponent wants to counter, then counter. Well, we will see. Opponent, Delver, is going to flip this time. And flips with a Brainstorm. Opponent gets it, hits us. Sure. Well, next step is getting empty-handed, probably. Opponent brainstorms. We still need to find a blast. I still can't believe that we just have not been able to find a blast. Opponent passes. Well, let's play City of Traders. Painter Servant. Opponent forces. Painter Servant on blue. Pass the turn. All right, you got to kill it, opponent. Opponent cracks the Delta. Volcanic Island. Do they have a bolt? Looks like yes. All right, has the bolt. Polluter Delta. 3 cards in hand for our opponent. Hits us down to 13. Thankfully, our life total is still fairly high. Ooh, Karn. That's interesting. Well, I think we play Imperial Recruiter. Resolves. We take another Painter Servant. City of Traders. Sack the old one. Ensnaring Bridge. Go. Well, this gives us 2 lines of attack. We have the combo, and in theory, we can get low enough on cards that we're going to stop getting beaten down by this Delver. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 10. And Delver, again. Sure. Opponent passes. Well, Painter Servant on blue. Snow-Covered Mountain. Well, all right. Grindstone you? Does opponent have 3 bolts? Wow! All right. So opponent, Bolt Tribal, had all 3 in hand to stay alive. All right. Well, that's not optimal. Get in, hit our opponent. So we can't get hit by the Flying Delver anymore. This Blood Moon would be great if it stuck. Opponent's down to 1 card. We really would love to draw land to play this Karn. The risk is we get stuck with expensive cards in hand and can't cast them and turn the Delvers back on. So, whoa! Oh, God. Opponent flips with an Abrade. Whoo! Wow. All right. That is really deadly. So now I think we're just done. Like, the Abrade takes down the Ensnaring Bridge. We get hit for 6. Wow. Well, we put our opponent in a position where they had to have the perfect hand and then also get the perfect flip with their Delver, and it did, and they did, and they win, but, well, yeah. Blood Moon doesn't do anything, but sure, pass the turn. Yeah, now we're dead. Now they get to Abrade the Ensnaring Bridge and just kill us. Whew. Well, we didn't draw a single blast out of our 7, and our opponent drew 3 out of 4 bolts. What an interesting game. I thought we had our opponent with that lightning bolt, but they had a whole stack of them. Opponent runs out a Brazen Borrower. Well, I mean, there's still, we can just concede now. There's not a way we can get out of this. Well, I mean, I guess we won't scoop early, but I mean, opponent blows up bridge, hits for 9. And then there's just nothing we can do. I guess we have 1 more Ensnaring Bridge. That's our one, like, very, 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 very not likely out. Opponent gets in, hits us, down to 1. And that would require dodging burn, although our opponent did spend a lot of bolts already. Plays a mountain. Well, what do we draw? Give us that bridge, give us that bridge. Hey, there's a blast. Little too late. Well, on to game number 3. Good news is we're on the play, and I feel like our deck is pretty well set up for this matchup. I think that our opponent just had the absolute perfect draw to stay alive. They needed triple bolt, and they had triple bolt. And that was with our opponent being on the play. So this game, we have a lot more potential to do even more frightening things where, and we didn't draw a single Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast, which, whew, that's a smidge unfortunate. Well, we get to play first. Let's see what this hand looks like. Hopefully turn 1 Blood Moon. That's what we want. 2 blasts, but no mana. We're going to mulligan that. Literally no mana and 2 blasts. Well, we're finding our blasts now. Oh no, not like this. Oh, this is super, super duper bad. Wow, we got no luck at all. Wow. This hand doesn't do anything. I think we got to keep mulliganing. I mean, I think we're in a really, really bad spot. We're at 4 cards. This is incredibly, incredibly bad. All right, well, we will keep. We will put Grindstone, Imperial Recruiter, and Great Furnace, I guess, to the bottom. Snow-covered mountain, Astrolabe. Wow. Oh, what a way for this to go. This should be an insanely good matchup for us, but we just ain't got no luck. Ain't got no luck at all. Bone it. Wow, I can't believe this is how that's going. Wooded Foothills. Bone it. Passing. We draw a Grindstone. Well, play a land. Imperial Recruiter. Resolves. We will take a Goblin Engineer, I think. I don't think there's really any point with directly going for the combo at the moment. It's not gonna work. We're better off trying to draw cards if we can with this Astrolabe. Bone it. Untapping. Polluted Delta. Cracks it. Volcanic Island. Cracks it. Tropical Island. Opponent plays a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Well, I mean, we gotta go for it. I'm sure we get dazed and lose, but Blood Moon. Oh, resolves. Okay. Okay, that's good news. Now our opponent has no mana. They do have this Arcanist, but they don't have anything in the graveyard. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Opponent. Lightning Bolts. All right, so they're just going to go on this Arcanist Bolt plan by the looks. We are going to hope to draw more mana, I think. Arcanist, Lightning Bolt. Hits our phase, hits us. Yeah. Down to 13. Mountain. Well, we will play Goblin Engineer. They better not have another Bolt. Tutor up Painter Servant. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. Down to 17. Oh, opponent. Please no Bolt. Please not another Bolt. That's so much damage. Doubled up. Wow, they really do. Oh my goodness, they really do have it. All right. So opponent. Wow, opponent. What are the chances? All right, gets to Bolt again. Decides not to. Going to wait. Hits us down to 12. Well, play Goblin Welder. Play Grindstone. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 1. Wow, these bolts are insane. It's insane. It is certifiably insane. Opponent goes down to 16. But our opponent gets to bolt again because of this Arcanist, and because they are really good at drawing lightning bolts, even though they can't cast anything except lightning bolts, essentially. Wasteland. It's a mountain. So our opponent is going to bolt our welder, I assume. And I guess the good news is our creatures are forcing our opponent to not bolt our face, which doubled up is a lot of damage. Opponent attacks. Hits us. Lightning bolt. Well, if they have another bolt, I swear to God. I really, truly swear to God. Okay, down to 8. Opponent passes. Well, snow-covered mountain. Welder. Sack Astrolab. Get back Painter Servant. On blue. And now I think we have to pass and wait for our opponent to do something. And in response to them doing something, try to win. So we pass the turn. Opponent untaps. I mean, we have Infinite Mill set up. But if our opponent could kill Painter in response, it fizzles, and we have not drawn a blast again. Opponent, combat. Passes. Well, we gotta go for it. Grindstone you. Opponent has a Pyroblast. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Blast our Blood Moon. Return to Nature's our Painter Servant. We mill a Bolt for our opponent. Well, we will Simian Spirit Guy. Actually, we will play Chandra. Kill this Arcanist finally. Go to combat. Attack. Do we want to do anything now? I guess we can. Yeah, let's just pass. Pass the turn. Huh. Huh. Boy, this has been so close. Opponent. Mana is free again. Wooded Foothills. Wastelands us. And passes. Well, let's sack Grindstone to get back Astrolabe. Draw a card. Another Karn. Untap. Well, play. Let's tick up Chandra for mana. Karn. Tick down Karn. Get Painter Servant. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. What do they have in hand, though? Oh, all right, nothing. Nothing for the moment. Nothing they're casting, at least. Wasteland. Cracks. Uh-oh, cracks blue to Delta. What does our opponent need the mana for? Gets a Trop. Oko. Okay. Oko's actually not super scary at the moment. Makes a food that can't do much. Opponent passes. All right, so we get to try again for the combo. Welder. Sack Astrolabe. Get back Grindstone. Untap. Take up Chandra for mana. Painter's Servant. On blue. Kill the food. Pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. I guess we attack Oko. Attack Oko. Oh, I think we might have got there in the end. Oko down to 5. We pass the turn. Does our opponent crack the fetch? They do. All right, this is our time. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Grindstone you. Oh! Whew! Wow, that was a battle. That was a battle. But we got there in the end. Opponent, entire deck build. That's the combo. Everything's blue. Everything's a double hit. Oh, wow. And we got there. We got there. Painter Prison. Through the disruption. That was a ridiculous match. Legacy is such a crazy format. Such a crazy format, but in the end, it was enough. Our blue card, our blue Goblin Welder, blew everything. Huh, getting the job done. Sweet, sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are blood mooning and comboing in Legacy this week with Painter Prison, I think is the best name for this deck. Opponent's on Yarion. All right, we'll keep this. I mean, we have turn 2 Magus of the Moon potentially. And we do have a Grindstone, so if we find Painter's Servant, we can go with the combo plan, potentially. We'll see. And a redraw in Astrolabe, because we're dirty Astrolabe players. Astrolabe, really, in this deck, it's mostly just so we can sacrifice it to Goblin Welders and the like. Well, Astrolabe, go. Opponent. Basic Plains and Mother of Runes. Okay. Well, I think we... Simian Spirit Guide... City of Traders, Karn, take down Karn, get Painter's Servant, pass the turn. So we're a fast mana spell away from comboing next turn, actually. Plains, depending on what our opponent has. All right, Revoker, that does slow us down. Opponent revokes our Karn, huh? All right, give us a fast mana spell. Like a 2-mana land and we just win. Or Simian Spirit Guide, Astrolabe, huh? Play Astrolabe, draw a card. Play Painter's Servant on blue. Not going to play a land, pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Does our opponent have the swords? That is the next question. Opponent untaps. Plains. Come on. Stick around, Painter's Servant. Stick around. Opponent does have a swords, of course. Okay. Well, that does slow us down. Opponent goes to combat. Hits our card. Yeah. And... Remorseful Cleric. Well, we will play Imperial Recruiter. Get Painter's Servant. Play the Snow-Covered Mountain. Lose our City of Traders. Grindstone. Go. Port for our opponent. Gonna kill Karn. Yeah. Well, we'll see how much removal our opponent has. Opponent passes. Going to tap a land. I'll play the land. Play Painter's Servant. Pass the turn. Put it on blue. Does our opponent have more swords? If not, we get them on our upkeep. Do they have a second swords? That is the question. Or some other, like, I don't know, Palace Jailer or something. Opponent. No end step swords. They could have a Revoker too, I guess. Well, this is it. This is the moment. Do they have the answer? We found the combo. Everything blue. Mill everything that shares a color. Oh my god, they do. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, opponent has the Palace Jailer. All right, so the hits just keep coming. And now the bad news is our opponent gets to draw extra cards every turn. So now we're actually in meaningfully bad shape here. Opponent. Yeah, extra cards are coming. Well, we will play Magus of the Moon. Not that it really does anything. Ugh. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Opponent, we put him to the test in their million-card deck, but they had the million-card answers, which now I think it's going to be really unlikely that we can win from here. Opponent plays a Wasteland. Has another... Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, opponent had the right the right cards at the top of the 80-card deck for what we're trying to do. That's for sure. Name's Grindstone. And now we're getting close to the point where we're just actually out of outs, where we can't really do anything. Opponent lets the Revoker go. Draws an extra card. Well, we will play City of Traders. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Play Goblin Welder. Pass the turn. Oh, these extra cards are bad news. Opponent. And they have Yarion. We're trying to play Legacy to get away from Yarion, but might not actually be enough. Or to get away from the companions in general, thanks to the rules change. Opponent. I mean, I assume they just Yarion. Yeah. They get to blink everything. Most relevant, the Palace Jailer, which can get rid of our Magus of the Moon and turn back on all their disruptive lands. And actually, getting rid of the Magus of the Moon means they get to Yarion every turn. With this Caracas, yeah, I think we're just going to concede here shortly. I know we're not, like, super close to actually being dead, but we're essentially just locked out of this game in a way that we can't get back into it. Well, I mean, I guess actually blowing up Yarion does mean that the game's not over. Although I'm still not sure there's a way we can actually win from here. I think what we got to do somehow is Karn, and then use Karn to get Lattice to lock our opponent. I think that's our pseudo out, and we got to do that before our opponent manages to draw more good cards. Yeah, that's an issue. More Wastelands. So now, with Wasteland in port and our Blood Moon being gone, we're not even going to be able to cast our cards, which is not ideal. Drawing 2 cards a turn is really good. We draw. Land? So opponent gets to tap our land. Yeah. We could use just a basic land, Astrolabe, for 2 mana. And if we ever whiff and get stuck with cards in hand, the issue is then we get attacked for everything. Recruiter. Okay, now we can scoop it up. Our bridge will no longer protect us. Well, opponent had the right disruption for that one. What do we got in our sideboard to fight against what our opponent's doing? 2 Fiery Confluences seem very good. Irrelevant Revelers also seems decent. I don't think we're going to bring in the rest of the blasts. And then I think we go down to Magus of the Moon. Go down... maybe like 1 Recruiter and 1 Blood Moon. Blood Moon's weird in this matchup. It does shut down our opponent's utility lands, but it doesn't actually stop our opponent from playing Magic because they're a mono color deck with a ton of basics. So, well, we were close to comboing off several times. Yarion's so weird. Seeing 80 card decks that just hit their stuff basically every time or something else. All right, so game number 2, we are on the play, and give us a good hand. Okay, this is fine. Turn 2 Karn, if we want it, and we do have one of our sideboard pieces in Fiery Confluence, which should be one of our best cards against what our opponent's trying to do. And even though 80 card decks are pretty consistent, if you do want specific answers, there is definitely a cost. We could turn 1 Imperial Recruiter. Not sure it's actually worth it to spend our Simian Spirit Guide. Leaning towards no. I think we just Welder. Start the welding, which has some pretty awesome art. All right, and also awesome flavor text. Play Welder. I wrecked your metal guy, boss, but look, I made you an ashtray. Opponent Blades and passing. Well, Ancient Tomb, Simian Spirit Guide, play Karn, take down Karn. Unfortunately, our deck does not play a way to just eat away our opponent's lands. We will take Painter Servant, and I guess we get in for 1. Hit our opponent. It might be worth it to to have a little bit more card stuff going on other than just combo pieces. Plains for our opponent. And passing. Oh, Karn. Take it down. Grab a Grindstone. Play Imperial Recruiter. We want to be able to protect our stuff, so we're going to take a Goblin Engineer. We want to be able to protect our stuff from our opponent's removal. So playing it this way means that we can like engineer to put something in our graveyard and then play our combo pieces and have the ability to sacrifice them to Goblin Welder so our opponent's Swords to Plowshares doesn't just ruin our day. And opponent scoops it up, done, double done. Well, all right, that went much better. Much better than the last game. Ugh, maybe we keep the Magus? Ugh. We're not going to tutor up Magus, right? Actually, it's probably better than Blood Moon. Let's keep the Magus since it's Imperial Recruiterable, if those words make any actual sense. Yeah, right like that. Combo buff. That is the plan, the hope, the dream. Maybe we need the Recruiter. Sideboarding with this deck is tricky when you're not just playing a blue deck and can't just bring in everything that's good against blue decks. Well, all right, we'll keep this. Hand's not like insane or anything, but it's fine. We do have our Fiery Confluence, which is I think our best card. No, Snow-Covered Mountain. Yeah, let's just Astrolabe, draw a card. Ballista. Little worried about this City of Traders and losing it for no value. We would like to avoid that. Opponent taking up the Vial, Crocus, and Thalia. Play City of Traders. Play Goblin Welder. Walking Ballista. X1. And do we want to kill this? Yeah, let's just kill Thalia. Pass the turn. Well, threat 1 dealt with. If we don't kill it there, our opponent can start Caracasing it. Opponent. Port. Vial. More Thalias. Alright. Oh, and then they start tapping our City of Traders. That's actually kind of bad for us. Yeah, opponent's going to tap it. Can we draw a something? Land. Oh, that does mean we lose our City of Traders, but I think it's worth it. Snow-Covered Mountain. We lose City of Traders. However, we get to Goblin Engineer to get a... I think it's actually just Astrolabe. I think we just want to start looping Astrolabes to draw cards and hit our mana. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. So they have a Swords in hand, except Swords is not super helpful unless with the Thalia out, opponent could not actually cast it. Cavern of Souls. Definitely a little worried about this Yarion still. On Bird. Gonna make the Yarion uncounterable. Alright, there's the Swords. So we sack Astrolabe, get back Astrolabe, draw a card. City of Traders is good. We are happy about that. Opponent. Ooh, all the swords in the West. Okay, so opponent has double swords. Thankfully, we have another Engineer. Opponent gets and hits us. Well, we will play Goblin Engineer, tutor up Painter's Servant, City of Traders. Go. All right, opponent, you need something good. They need to draw a removal spell. Once we get this Painter's Servant going with 2 Pyroblasts in hand, that should mostly seal the game. So this is our opponent's turn to draw a whammy and maybe be able to steal it. Opponent, combat. Hits us. Yeah, down to 18. Passes. Are they porting? All right, so we will add red, Engineer, get back Painter's Servant, sack Astrolabe. On blue. Okay. We will pass the turn. Opponent, Vial, staying on 3. Yep. Up to 2 cards in hand. Opponent. Passing? Well, alright. Let's... yeah, let's Pyrobast port. See what happens. Okay, resolves. That's good. Untap. Draw. Oh. I mean, I think we gotta go for it, right? Grindstone. Pass the turn. No attacks. I think this is it. I think... Actually, I guess we can wait. We can wait. If we wait until our turn, we can Grindstone and leave up Pyroblast. So we wait. If our opponent does something to disrupt our combo, then we go for it. And opponent scoops it up. Okay. Whoo! Grinding about! Peter Prison! Still winning. Still winning. We're getting the job done in Legacy. Oh, sweet, sweet. This deck's actually pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Well, we'll take it. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are probably mulliganing. So we have Astrolabe. We can engineer to start looping. Yeah, I think we just mulligan. This hand it's all mana. It doesn't really do anything. All right, this hand does turn 1 Blood Moon, which I do approve of. We will put a snow-covered mountain to the bottom. All right, well, let's see how good this Blood Moon is. We are in the draw, which is less good, but Scalding Tarn for our opponent cracks it. Show us a non-basic. Oh, it's a basic. Oh, and Astrolabe. All right, turn 1 Blood Moon is not anything. Not anything at all. Well, Ancient Tomb. Actually, you know what? We're still going to do it. Ancient Tomb, Blood Moon. All the Astrolabes. So we need to get this Karn down at some point, because our opponent, because of these Astrolabes, still has all the mana in the world. Well, City of Traders and Painter Servant on blue. Pass the turn. Opponent has Fatal Push, thanks to the Astrolabes. Boo. That is a downside that our opponent gets to. Oh, Dak Faden. Hooray. All right, this is bad news. Bad. Very bad news. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, go. Yeah, Astrolabe's good against our deck. Opponent, Dak Faden. All this looting means pretty likely that our opponent should have a way to interact with our Karn. Baleful Strix. Scalding Tarn. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, Karn. Opponent, yeah, all the looting, and this is not looking great. Ugh. So we kept a hand based on turn 1 Blood Moon, and it's in a matchup where turn 1 Blood Moon doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure how we win from here. Whoa, and our opponent even has Pyroblast in their main deck. Okay, opponent passes, we draw Grindstone. Yeah, well, I mean, play Goblin Welder, I guess. Grindstone. Opponent has more forces. Well, pass the turn. Oh, opponents just churn through their deck at lightning speed. I'm going to keep on looting. Keep finding that action. Keep finding those forces. And they have 1,000,000 Cling to Dust? Ugh. Yeah, this is bad. Real bad. Opponent passes. And, yeah, we are just going to concede. We can't beat this. All right. Well, that is a risk. That is a risk you take when you play a deck like this, is if you run into Astrolabe Tribal, things go much, much worse. So, we're going to bring in the rest of our blasts. We're going to go down a couple Blood Moons, I think. Walking Ballista in the sideboard. Ensnaring Bridge. We'll bring in a Reveler. And try it like that. So I think our main hope is to combo. The Blood Moon Prison plan does not seem super great against what our opponent's doing. Maybe if we can turn 1 a Blood Moon and dodge Infinite Force of Wills, etc. 1 land. Yeah, Sand doesn't do much. We got a mulligan. We don't have enough mana to do anything. Well, alright. This hand can play Planeswalkers. That could be good. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain. It doesn't do much else, though. And our opponent still likely has 1,000,000 counters. Astrolabe, draw a card. Pyroblast, alright. Snow-Covered Island. Ponder. About it. Passes. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, go. So next turn we can attempt to play like a Chandra, but it also can get a Force of Willed. Underground Sea. Ponder. We might just have to play Recruiter. Recruiter and Pyroblast. We'll see if we draw land. Opponent passes. Astrolabe. Yeah, let's Astrolabe. See if we can draw land. We'd like to wait on the City of Traders if we have the choice. Astrolabe. Can we draw a non-City of Traders land? No. Well, alright, we gotta play City of Traders. Pass the turn. Yeah, it's a little awkward the way that played out. Opponent. Misty Rainforest and passes. Let's play Imperial Recruiter. Tutor up a Goblin Engineer. Pass the turn. Grove of the Burn Willows for our opponent. And passes. Well, play Goblin Engineer. Grab a Painter Servant. Grindstone. Alright, there's the counter. Well, pass the turn. We could have countered back, but I don't think it's worth it here. Get in with our Recruiter. I think we need to save our Pyroblast for something that has more value. Punishing, ugh, alright. Okay, so this is getting a lot worse. Punishing Fire is definitely a huge issue that our opponent can keep getting back to their hand. Yeah, this is going to make things tough. Scalding Tarn, opponent, passes. Well, yeah, make mana, play Ancient Tomb, Chandra, take up Chandra, hit our opponent, get in. I mean, I guess we're just on the beatdown plan. The Chandra beatdown, hit our opponent. The other possibility is we could get the Lattice Lock going. Opponent's going to get back Punishing Fire, Chandra down to 3. Polluter Delta for our opponent, cracks it. Plague Engineer. Okay, so that kills our Imperial Recruiter. Opponent passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, take up Chandra for mana. Play Snow-Covered Mountain. Karn. Turn on Astrolabe. Pass the turn. Yeah, we'll see. Opponent can Punishing Fire again. Punishing Fire on Karn. Yeah, they can just keep doing this. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough for us because, yeah, Punishing Fire. So they can Punishing Fire on Karn, and then we can't tutor up the Lattice without Karn dying. As Punishing Fire is ruining our day. Now I kind of wish we did have Blood Moons. Opponent combat. Attacks Karn. Well, we will chump block. Attack Chandra. We will still chump block. Yeah, maybe we should have left our Blood Moons in. Even through the Astrolabe destruction. Opponent passes. Well, take down Karn. Get a Lattice. Take up Chandra. Play a Lattice. Opponent's going to Punishing Fire Karn. Yeah. Alright, pass the turn. Everything colorless. The good news is, if we stick this Karn, it does it. Can we? This also turns off our Pyroblast, though, which is awkward. Opponent, land. Combat. Attack Chandra. Let's take up Chandra for a card. We really want a Painter Servant. Goblin Welder. I'll play Goblin Welder. Pass the turn. Punishing Fire. Gonna do Punishing Fiery things. Kills the Welder. At some point, we're just gonna have to fire it off and hope. Opponent. Brainstorms. Colorlessly. Gets in at Chandra. Oh, come on, Painter Servant. That's what we need. Opponent going to kill the Chandra. Is this where we gotta go for it and just hope? The problem is a counter ruins our day, and because the Lattice is out, all spells are colorless, so we can't actually Pyroblast to protect it. That's why I would like to find the Painter Servant first. Opponent kills our Chandra. Cracks Verdant Catacombs. Snow-Covered Forest. Astrolabe. Draws a card. Opponent passes. Well, Chandra. There's the counter. Astrolabe. Draw a card. Pass the turn. Yeah, at some point we're just going to have to hope. We got another counter out of our opponent's hand. Brainstorm, but they have so many Brainstorms to find their pieces. Like, if this card resolves, we essentially just win the game on the spot. Our opponent can't tap mana. They can't do anything. At some point, we're going to have to give up on waiting and just hope. Icefang Coatl. Opponent getting more and more creatures makes it worse, too. Place a land. Dak Faden. Gets to loot. Well, this is it. This is it. I don't know if Karn even does it anymore. Opponent gets in, hits us. Discarded a bunch of Punishing Fires. Yeah. Alright, this is the turn of truth. We can't wait anymore. Karn. Opponent, do you have a counter? Looks like yes. Oh, they have Assassin's Trophy! Well, alright, get a land. Karn resolves. Kill Dak Faden. Turn on Astrolabe. Pass the turn. But Punishing Fire, yeah. Ugh. Actually, I think we might have misplayed there. I think what we should have done there is... Well, I guess it didn't matter because they have another Punishing Fire in hand. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, there's no way out. We could have got a Tormod script to try to get rid of the Punishing Fire, but I think at this point we're just straight up locked out of the game. There's not really... With these Punishing Fires, it's going to take us a while to actually die, but I don't think there's any possible way that we can actually win this game through our opponent they just have 6 damage a turn. They can just shoot down our board again and again, and we can't stop it. We got no cards left. We got no lattices left. Opponent has infinite everything. We draw land, which is not helpful. Well, yeah, tutor from our sideboard. Might as well. We will take a... Yeah, maybe we were supposed to leave in... And there's Punishing Fires in hand, so Graveyard Hate again doesn't actually get rid of them. Ensnaring Bridge won't win long term. We can get a combo piece. Well, we take... Alright, I think our plan is take Painter Servant, play Reveler, kill the Astrolabe, Painter Servant on blue. Pyroblast? This is our one slight chance. Alright, opponent has Force Negation, and we will scoop it up. Oh, yeah, that's tough. We just don't have the answers to the grindy burn spell plan. Aye. Next time. Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. We are Pyro Prisoning, or Painter Prisoning, rather. Painter, Pyro, whatever, all the same. In Legacy, well, Snow-Covered Mountain, Grindstone. I think we're just running out our combo pieces. This puts us in a position where we're not that far away from potentially winning. About it. Scalding Tarn cracks it. Storm count 10. That's scary. That's the kind of name a Storm player would have. Preordain. Drawing a Blast would be great. That would let us Painter Servant and then leave up a counter and then try to win next turn. Blast? Welder. Well, Ancient Tomb. Painter Servant. Opponent has a Force pitching a Force, so just forces for days. We'll play Goblin Welder. Pass the turn. Oh! Alright. So, 3 counters down. Well, that's good. We got rid of 3 counters. That we are going to count that as a win for the time being. Opponent's back down to 0 lands. Opponent. Wasteland. Oh, no. That's really bad for us. Land? Well, okay, Goblin Welder. Pass the turn. The lack of mana is a problem. That's a problem. We really need a double land. Really. Opponent. Another Ponder. Oh, we fought through a lot of disruption, but now we don't have the mana to do anything. Come on, Ancient Tomb, please. Ancient Tomb. Nope. Well, I guess we passed the turn. Yeah, that Wasteland got us good. Real good. Taps. Volcanic Island. Oh, Blood Moon would be so sweet. This is a world where Blood Moon would be sweet, but we don't have the mana. Land, please. Oh, brutal. Well, pass the turn. I guess in some ways it's fitting that we are trying to Blood Moon our opponent and we get Wastelanded out of the game. Opponent. Going to kill our Welder. Well, I think we'd rather have a Painter Servant than a Grindstone. But the real problem is we don't got no mana. Opponent Brainstorms. Staring back at this, is it Blood Moon? White Border Blood Moon. That actually looks amazing. Oh, I'm just dreaming about the world where this was on the battlefield and we were just straight up wrecking our opponent. But we're in the world where we got 1 land and aren't doing anything, and our opponent's casting literally endless cantrips. Opponent, more Wastelands. Passes. Alright, Snow-Covered Mountain. That is actually a small step in a direction towards casting a spell. we will count that as a win. Current circumstances dictate that as a win. Well, boom. Take 1. Backup plan. Painter Servant beatdown. That's what we do when we don't got no mana. Opponent as a Tarmogoyf. Boy, this Blood Moon would be so insanely good. Opponent. Alright, well, City of Traders. Blood Moon, yo. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my literal god. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Counter number 49, opponent. Goes to combat. Hits us for 1 million. Yeah, we will take it. Down to 12. Wastelands. We're back to not being able to cast anything. Opponent plays another Tarmogoyf. We draw a land, please. And yeah, I think, well, I mean, we'll stay in the game just because we could technically draw. We can chump block if our opponent can't kill our Painter's Servant. And then Ensnaring Bridge would buy us a turn or two. Opponent, another Brainstorm. We are not good at drawing lands this game, unfortunately. Oh, wow. This one's tough because it feels like the win is right in our hands. We are right at the I win part of this game. But, we had the combo, we had the Blood Moons, 2 of them. Like, we have so many cards that are literally just I win, but we don't have the ability to resolve any of them. Well, we'll see. We draw. Is it a land? It is not. It's a Pyroblast. It would have been a good way. We had Painter's Servant, and we will scoop it up. Whoo! Well, that is Power Wasteland. That is the power of Wasteland. Whoo, boy. Well, we're bringing in Blasts. We are going down this Walking Ballista. We are going down 1 Goblin Welder, I guess. Well, Goblin Welder could be good. Let's go down the... Oh, we can tutor up Magus. Let's go down 1 Ensnaring Bridge and a Welder. Run it like that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I wanted that one. Well, we have 7 Red Elemental Blast effects. This feels like it should be a perfectly fine to actually really, really good matchup for our deck. We'll see. We'll see if it works out that way. We get to play first. Well, I guess we keep this. I don't know how good this hand is against getting Wastelanded a million times, but Goblin Welder, go. Opponent, untaps. Tropical Island. Delver of Secrets. We draw. Great Furnace. Well, Ancient Tomb. Imperial Recruiter. Opponent does not have a counter this time, or does not care about countering. We will take a Magus of the Moon. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. Opponent. Do they get the Blind Delver flip? They do not. Do they have Wasteland? They're going to Brainstorm to set up the Delver. And look for a Wasteland. So, opponent Brainstorms. Plays a Scalding Tarn. Cracks a Scalding Tarn. Do they have a basic? Nope. Plays a Delver. Alright. Well, can we beat 2 Delvers? I don't know if the answer is yes. Play a land. Play Magus of the Moon. Play Grindstone. Go to combat. Attack. So opponent currently has no functional mana. I'm expecting them to like flip with a bolt though. Opponent. Delvers. They're definitely flipping. Whoa, oh no, they shuffled. Alright, are not flipping. Well, we'll see. No Delver flip yet. Opponent. More red mana. Still a mountain. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. Well, Simian Spirit Guide. Chandra. Take up Chandra. Painter's Servant. Alright, pass the turn. On blue. Well, this is it. This is it. This is it. Opponent does get to Brainstorm with this Arcanist. Oh, opponent. Do the Delvers flip? Opponent scoops it up. Oh, we got there. We got there. We got there. Okay. That went much better. Our Blood Moon came through. No mana for you. And opponent, their will to live. Eliminated quickly. Oh. All right. Well, that's what we can do. All about them Blood Moons, apparently. We will keep it. Okay. We can put them to the test. Turn 1 Blood Moon. I mean, we are on the draw, which means days is a thing, but... Or maybe we wait. Do we just... I mean, you don't play this deck and not turn 1 Blood Moon, right? Yeah. Put them to the test. That's what it's all about. I mean, they'll probably pass. We'll see. Blood Moon. Can you pass the test? Oh, days. All right. So opponent does pass the test with the days. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Yeah, that's one of the big reasons that the die roll is so huge in this matchup. If we are on the play, then our opponent can't daze or spell pierce, and they have to have Force of Will. If we're on the draw, then all of a sudden they have a bunch more potential outs to our haymakers. This hand actually has mana though, and it is fairly well set up to start casting big things in the future. Snow-covered mountain, play another Astrolabe. We would actually just love another land. 2-mana land especially. Alright, well, Astrolabe. Keep them going. We have a lot of powerful 4-mana planeswalkers if we get to them. Alright, well, I guess we get to them fairly on turn 4 at least. That's something. Opponent, untaps. Scalding Tarn. Well, here comes a Goyf. Tropical Island. Tarmogoyf. Alright, let's try this again. Blood Moon. Can you pass the test? No. That's going to make our opponent's life a smidge harder. Scalding Tarn, probably better known as Mountain, hits us for 3. Well, I don't think our opponent can cast spells the rest of the game. Play a land. Chandra. Instant land. Okay. Ugh. Yeah. Bolt. They could have Bolt. They could have Bolt. Ugh. How do we do this? So here's the thing. We can Chandra the Tarmogoyf. The problem is, if our opponent can Bolt the Chandra in response, the Goyf lives and also grows. And that does seem like the kind of card our opponent would have. Let's take up Chandra for mana and play Goblin Welder and pass the turn. Oh, okay, so opponent did have the Bolt. So we would have gotten super, super blown out if we tried that. Opponent plays a Mountain. Hits Chandra to 1. Oh, opponent has a whole bunch of bolts. Well, Karn. Take it down. Get Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. Opponent. Can we resolve the bridge to protect ourselves from the Goyf killing Karn? Yup. Opponent passes. Well, play the bridge. Alright. Not dying to the Goyf yet. We have protection. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Dreadhorde Arcanist. How do we do this? Let's play Karn. Take down Karn. Get a... do we go for the combo, or do we go for the Stop Arcanist? Let's take Grindstone. Pass the turn. So opponent gets to Dreadhorde Arcanist our Karn with a Lightning Bolt. A Blast would be fine. Opponent, combat, gets in. I'm going to flash back the Bolt to kill the Karn, I'm sure. Yep. So Karn down. We go to 14. We draw. Imperial Recruiter. Well, play Imperial Recruiter. Tutor up a... Simian Spirit Guide. Grindstone. Pass the turn. Alright. This sets us up for a maybe win next turn. If our opponent doesn't have interaction. We would still love the Blast. The Blast would make us happy. Opponent, combat. Gets in with Arcanist. Are they going to spend their Bolt? They do. Hits us to 11 and down to 10. Well, we untap. We play Painter Servant on blue. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, got there. Got there, got there, got there. Oh, Painter Prison. Oh, oh. All right. Didn't draw a Blast. Didn't need it. The combo comes through. And feeding the kids. Got the winning record somehow. Well, sweet, sweet, sweet. This deck seems pretty sweet. And I gotta say, the best, by far the best part of this deck is just how the cards look. Like, is it Simian Spirit Guide? the blue artifacts, like, oh, this old school looking Imperial, like everything about it is just so sweet once Painter Servant changes the colors. Like, blue card. We need more of this. Maybe what we got to do is someday play a deck that's just based on copying Painter Servant to try to make everything 5-color to see what it looked like. That would be interesting. I'd probably blow Magic Online's mind. I don't know what would happen, but I need more Is It Simian Spirit Guides in my life. That's for sure. Well, one more to go. Sweet. I much brew about nothing time. We are Painter Prisoning in Legacy this week, trying to avoid companions. Which should be easier now that the rules change, but this hand's actually pretty decent. The question is, how fast do we try to go? I think we just go for it. Painter Servant. This means if we draw Simian Spirit Guide, another 2-mana land, we can just turn 2 kill here if Painter Servant lives. It's risky, because if Painter Servant dies, then... I mean, I guess it's fine, though, because we have Imperial Recruiter, so worst case, our opponent kills Painter Servant, we just tutor up another one and run it back in the future, or can try to Goblin Engineer it back. Tropical Island. Alright, that's not a removal spell color. Opponent passes. Alright, give us 2-mana land. Astrolabe. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain. Astrolabe. Draw a card. Oh, so close. So close. we will Goblin Engineer for Grindstone. Pass the turn. Well, I mean, our opponent knows. Opponent knows for sure that they are dead if we untap. We'll see. We'll see what they have. They need an answer. Well, I guess they don't know for sure because they don't know we have a land, but they should know that they are most likely dead. Well, this is what the deck can do when it gets its its best draws, for sure. An opponent, done, done, done. They realize it's over. Whew. We don't know what our opponent's doing. We saw a Tropical Island, and that's it. Tropical Island, no companion. All right, we're going to go down Walking Ballista. We're going to go down one Goblin Welder. We're going to go down a Simian Spirit Guide, go up the Blasts. Ooh, hopefully that's right. I don't know what our opponent's doing, but we're going to try. Well, this hand can play Quick Blood Moon, and I do like Quick Blood Moons, and all these blasts seem like they could be reasonable. We're going to keep it. We'll see what our opponent's up to. Hopefully it's a blasty type of matchup. See if our opponent plays around Blood Moon. Do they know that we're a prison-style deck? They might not. Ugh. Bayou. Are they thought seizing? Well then, Cabal Therapy? See if they know enough to name Blood Moon. Boy, if we... Opponent disconnected. Uh-oh. Did we scare him away? We scared him away? Too good? Well, if our opponent doesn't make it back, this would be an anticlimactic ending. Although, it would also mean that we went 4-1, literally in the dark, having never played this deck before, in one of the most challenging formats in Magic. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain if we get the freebie 4-1. Oh, opponent has returned. And how'd they not time out? They were gone for 7 minutes. Well, not getting the freebie. We're going to have to fight and claw for our 4-1, apparently. Oh, opponent, they did time out. Well, anticlimactic. However, what is climatic is we 4-1 in Legacy. We got 5 treasure chests to open up. And apparently, Painter Prison, not bad. All right, let's crack open some treasure chests. Treasure chest time! 5 to open. Chest number 1. We get Ufinwald Observer. I don't think I've ever seen this card in play in any format. All right. 4 to go. We get Soul Spike. There was a brief time where there was a combo deck that played this, but that time was in the pretty distant past. Still a unique card, not too many free spells in Modern, but Soul Spike doesn't normally see much play. Well, next, we get 3 to go. Worship. I do like me some Worship. Although, I don't think Modern is in a place where Worship is good anymore. Assassin's Trophy makes it a lot worse. Pack Rat. Best limited card of all time, maybe. On the short list, at least. Well, one more. Can we get some value, please, out of at least one of these? Manascape Refractor. That probably has some value. The new Commander cards tend to at least have some value. Manascape Refractor. Ooh, four ticks. All right. Well, that's not a bad open. Well, all right. That is Pyro Prison. That is our deck for today. Actually, I mean, I don't have much to wrap up, honestly. I'm not a Legacy expert, although I love the format, so I'm not going to give you any, like, super in-depth, change this or this was wrong. I'll leave that to the actual Legacy experts, but the deck felt good. We went 4-1. We did get one freebie, but we were already up a game when we got that free win. I like it. It's a interesting combination of mono red prison and a combo deck, which I think is pretty interesting, that you have these unique synergies in the deck that you almost don't even notice until they go along. But being able to, obviously, Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer to get Ensnaring Bridge type effects is pretty cute. You're also able to, loop Astrolabs for value. Then you also have just, the prison aspect of the deck, where you can just turn one to Blood Moon and jank someone out, turn one into a Snaring Bridge or whatever and jank someone out. It's not as prison-y as a full mono red prison deck, although you do have the Karn Lock, but you don't have Chalice of the Void, don't have any Eternus Spheres, but still, the deck felt really good. The combo is powerful. We can get free wins on turn 2 with the combo. We can also get free wins on turn 1 with Blood Moon in some matchups. And we can go long with our Planeswalkers. We have some grindy value with Imperial Recruiters, our graveyard looping stuff. So it makes the deck kind of tricky to attack. If you attack the combo, you can just lose to the prison aspect of the deck, or the card advantage aspect of the deck. If you attack the Blood Moon aspect of the deck, you can just randomly get comboed off. So the fact that the deck plays like a prison deck to some extent, but can attack from so many different directions, makes it pretty sweet. So I liked it. I mean, this is definitely one of the better Blood Moons decks I played in a while. Honestly, before playing this deck, I was playing just straight up mono red prison in Legacy, and I was not having much luck with that. And I feel like adding the combo to the deck definitely improved it. Just having this quicker way to win rather than being all in on fully locking your opponent out of the game. So anyway, that's Painter Prison. That's been our Much Abrew for this week. Hopefully you like something different with Legacy, get away from the companions and all that stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.